Welcome to Ep.1 of the Realness Meets Logic podcast, where we are an authentic space for logic. Today's episode is on how you show up. Do you really show up in the way that you want to? Have you ever had a moment during your day where you felt you could have shown up better? Or have you ever felt that the way you've shown up in other spaces or with other people has been a misrepresentation of you? I relate to that because I had to go through a moment of solitude where I was by myself. I made it a very intentional thing, made it very clear to my friends and the people I rock with that I needed time for me. I needed to get back to me because I was just pouring out so much. I was pouring out so much of myself in these spaces and with these people, even the people that I love and truly care for. So I have no issue with that because I know that they would do the same. If not in that same capacity, in their own way, they would reciprocate. But I really needed time for myself. I took this time right before the new year. I had a brief break from my job and I was able to reset and refresh my mind, my spirit, my soul, and just clean house. Straighten up my room. My room was kind of junky a little. I ain't gonna put myself out there like that because it wasn't junky. I ain't finna talk crazy about myself. It wasn't junky. That's an over exaggeration. It was just little stuff here and there, empty water bottles, just little stuff in misplaced areas. Try to call myself junky. That's crazy. 'Cause I definitely was not junky in this room. It was just a lot of stuff misplaced. But I finally took the time out the day after my work break to get my space together because I understand that what my space look like does have an effect on my mood and my mental space because that's what I'm seeing when I wake up and that's what I'm coming back home to. If my space that I'm waking up in, sleeping in, lounging around in is in disarray and it's not organized and it's just misplaced, my mind is going to be disorganized and I'm going to be anxious. And that's where anxiety comes in because things are just not in place and the mind is trying to catch up to the things that are not in proper order. So, long story short, as much as I love the people that I rock with and I have made informed, genuine connections with, I needed time for me. I needed time for myself. I had to remove my presence from some of those spaces because I needed to pour back into me. I needed to figure out who is Avrion? Who will Avrion be? Who does Avrion want to be in this new season, in this new year, in this new space of 2025? And for that, I needed to cut out all the outside noise and reconnect with myself. Because if I'm being real with you, I felt like I was being misrepresented. Like the person that I was showing up as in these different spaces outside of my home, I felt like I was being misrepresented. Like that's not how I wanted to come across. That's not how I wanted to be perceived. That's not how I wanted to be received. That's not how I wanted to show up. So I had to do some soul searching within those 2 weeks of me being off from work for a Christmas break. And it did wonders. I worked on myself. While I was on vacation, basically vacation, I was still at work because even though I wasn't doing the day to day, hour to hour, 9 to 5 work, I was working on myself. I was doing self improvement. When you are actively doing self improvement, the work never ends. Of course, you have to give grace to yourself and give yourself time to really develop and fill in to the new version of you that you've been working towards. But even when you're done with your 9 to 5, if you're as intentional as I am, you're always working. You're always working on yourself, checking yourself, addressing certain areas of your life or addressing certain things and inner conflicts and things of that nature, things that you're battling within. It's always I don't want to say a power struggle, but there's always work to be done. So I chose to use that time to work on myself. Even though I was on vacation, I could have just been playing a game, watching TV, or just filling my time by going out all the time, going to the clubs and hanging out with my friends and just avoiding what I needed to do, which was to be with myself and really work on myself so I can prepare myself to show up how I really want to show up in this new year of 2025. Instead of just goofing off and doing those kind of things, which nothing is wrong with that, I'm just saying that I was very intentional with my break. I still chose to put in work. It was just a different kind of work. So I say all of this to say, are you happy with how you have been showing up these past few weeks, these past few months, or maybe even the whole year? Are you satisfied? Do you feel you have been properly represented with every conversation you have? Every time you meet someone new, every time you talk to someone that you know, every time you talk to a loved one, or even just how you talk to yourself, do you feel that you are showing up in the best way possible for you? And if that answer is no, you have some work to do. Work on yourself. Take time to yourself. Quiet the outside noise. Silence the distractions. Reduce the distractions. Really focus on you and what you feel you need to do for you to be the version of you that you want to be and need to be for yourself and for those around you. All right? This has been the first episode of Realness Meets Logic. Tap in, follow us on all streaming platforms, like the video, share the video, and share it to your friends, your family, whoever you feel needs to hear this message, whoever you feel will relate to this message, because I have more episodes coming and they're going to be real and unapologetically logical. All right? Don't forget to like, share, and if you're on YouTube, subscribe. This is your host, Avery Sanders, signing out.